Class is in session. MLB hitting the book show Tuesday, June 24th. Ian Cameron, Connor Mack with you, ready to break things down. It was a solid Monday, 2-0 best bets on the show, so no complaints. And hopefully we got some more winners coming here on this Tuesday MLB slate. So let's dive right into it. We will begin, of course, as we always do, with the games that start at the 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern hour. We do have a couple of those, starting with Texas and Baltimore. Jake Latz, Charlie Old Man Morton, the pitching matchup here. Baltimore minus 130, home favorites minus 135 at some spots, 9.5 the total in this game. I backed Jake Latz last time, and I thought he pitched pretty solid. He's a young kid. He's getting this opportunity now in the starting rotation here for Texas. I think there's value on him in the Texas Rangers here at plus 115. I know Morton's pitched a little bit better lately after a rough start to the year, but you're going to still ask me to lay minus 135 with him and this Orioles team around him? No, not interested. I think there's value here with Texas. I'm on the Rangers here as a road dog. Nice plus money price. C-Mac, Texas, Baltimore.
Yeah, it's the only way I can kind of look at it. I don't want Baltimore here. They get the win yesterday. We talked about it. Just at the price, I couldn't really trust them. There was no good price, I thought, with the team total. Well, I'll see with Morton here, everything that's going on with him. He's been a little bit better as Old Man Morton. Did you even get that in? Yeah,
I did. Oh, of course. Old Man
Okay,
Morton.
I didn't know if I heard that. Okay.
Oh,
shit.
Never miss that opportunity. Never.
Yeah. Well, still, I got to get – this guy's 41. He's still in the bigs. And his last couple starts, 3 out of the 4 have been really, really good. If there's one team you could shut down, it's this Rangers offense. It's just been so sluggish. When could they get going? I don't know. There's a few guys, Simeon, he's in the 4-hole, was 9 for 27. Maybe look at Josh Smith, the top of the lineup. Garcia's got to get going. I mean, he looks awful at the plate right now, seeing him. But I kind of agree. Latz, of course, the lefty one, he struggled with most lefties against righties. So we'll see if he can get some done. But I just couldn't take anything here. I kind of be on the dog. These are games, though, the O's try to inch back. They're back to just 10 games under 500, not 20, right? So if they can kind of creep up to maybe even be close to 500 for the break, they got to be feeling good.
All right, Blue Jays and Guardians. We've got battle of lefties here. Eric Lauer and Logan Allen on the mound. Toronto minus 130 road favorites, 9 the total. We've seen a lot of money come in on Toronto, but I don't know if I love it now, but I did bet Toronto at minus 115. I got a better price than what we're seeing right now. It's a nice spot for the Jays. They did lose 2 at home against the White Sox over the weekend, but now they start a road trip, looking to get a good start going. And Eric Lauer's pitched pretty solid for them. And the Guardians still don't hit lefties all that well. That's still an ongoing problem for them. So I actually think it sets up nicely here for the Blue Jays in this game. Starting a road trip, trying to wipe away the bad taste in their mouth after the Chicago series. And I trust Lauer a bit more than I trust Logan Allen, because I think Lauer's pitched a little bit better than Allen, and not to mention the Blue Jays just have better numbers against lefties than the Guardians do. So I think it's a nice little spot for Toronto. I took them here as a short road favorite. C-Mac, Blue Jays, Guardians.
Yeah, Jays, and the numbers are good for some of these Jays hitters. It's starting to get going. Vlad, I've been on a few of his RBI and homer lately. Springer has good numbers. And over the last month, the Jays, just everything. The OPS, slugging percentage, been all the way through. And the Guardians, they got a couple wins there on the last against the Athletics, but the offense still, man, it's not very good. And you mentioned it. I mean, bottom third against lefties really all year. I kind of agree. These are the price, though. And you think, like, with Lauer, like, I just can't take the Jays, though, minus 130 over the years. It just seems like they just would crumble here. But they're playing good baseball, but I'm off this game.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get over, but it's 9, right? So
it's going to be stinking hot in Cleveland, but the problem is I don't trust the Guardians always against lefties. And the bullpen's are rested on both sides because it's a day off. So that's the only – I'd lean over for sure, but I actually didn't bet it. And, I'm an over guy, and yet I didn't touch this total, but I would lean that way. Athletics.
I get it with 9. If you didn't get an 8.5, yeah.
That too. Yep. Athletics and Detroit Tigers. We've got Luis Severino and Tariq Skubal on the mound. Detroit minus 300, home favorite, 7.5. I always laugh my ass off when I hear Christopher Mad Dog Russo when he's doing his show. He always calls him Tariq Screwball, like you're a screwball. It's just, he always calls him that. Oh, man. Shit. Skubal, look, he's tough to go against. There's no question about that. He's obviously one of the best pitchers going. But we have Luis Severino now on the road where he's done his best work all year. He's been awful at home in Sacramento. I mean, he can't get outs there, and he's been crushed in that ballpark. But you get him on the road, he's really good. He's one of the biggest home road split pitchers going in the big leagues this year. Amazing on the road, awful in Sacramento. So it kind of feels like maybe he can pitch well here, at least early. This feels like it could be a good first 5 under spot. I would lean that way, but no bet for me. I passed on this game. CMAC, A's, Tigers.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's going to change here. Will it today? I don't know with Severino. From a guy that's just totally opposite.
This is a recording. Very, very hot in Detroit tonight. Same thing. Same temperatures.
Yeah. Screwball 2 starts last year. Looking at it earlier today, he gave up 4. I think, and in the other start, he gave up a couple runs to the A's. Rooker, one of the guys, 6 for 14 with 2 bombs. Of course, you want to look at him against the lefty. It's just the best lefty, best pitcher, basically, right now, you could say, in all of baseball. So I think Severino could give it up, though. I think when I see these low with Screwball on the mound, I think the Tigers can get some runs. It's just, Severino shoves here, but I think the Tigers can get 3 in the first 5. And it's basically, you're getting a short number here, right around minus 105 and 110 most spots. So I think they can get to him.
All right, next up here, we got the Braves and the Mets, Spencer Strider and Frankie Montas making his season debut, believe it or not, for the Mets here. Braves minus 140, total 9. I'm on Atlanta again. Mets are terrible. They lose again last night, albeit it was close, 3-2, but still, I cashed a ticket with Atlanta. It was the Sunday night baseball fade. We talked about it. This is not the Sunday night baseball fade anymore, but I'm still on Atlanta. I think it's a big pitching advantage. Strider's looking like Strider again, at least the last 2 starts. He's looked a lot better, a lot sharper. He's worked out the kinks. The rust is out of his system, and he's starting to look a bit like that dominant pitcher we remember again in his last couple of starts. So I look at this as a situation where I don't mind backing him. Again, the price could be better. I don't love it at minus 140, but I'm still on Atlanta here. Mets can't get out of their own way, and I have no idea what to expect out of Montas. And I'm thinking he's more hittable than not here tonight, pitching for the first time in a while. So give me Atlanta again, fading the Mets again. Why not? Keeps on working. I was on the Phillies, 2 of 3 they won. I faded the Mets last weekend against Tampa, I remember, and Tampa won that. So, yeah. Fading the Mets has been good to me. We'll keep rocking with it. CMAC, Atlanta, and the New York Mets.
Yeah, it's the Braves or another. Unless he's going to come out here and pitch well, he has looked awful in his minor league starts. Yep. Did you go through him? He gave up 4 bombs 3 or 4 starts ago. Well, I mean, I saw that when it happened.
Not
I think it was against Buffalo.
That's for sure. Yeah.
And he's not striking people out. That's why when he is, up and down, but when he's rolling, back then he could punch people out. It just hasn't happened. He's given up after short innings. He got 5. He went 3 2/3, gave up 3. An inning 2/3, 8. Another game where he gave him a homer. And the last time 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned run, another homer, 1 walk, 2 Ks, and all those are 2 Ks. 2, 1, 3. I don't know what he does here. I just posted. I put it out there. I took Austin Riley. Ronald Acuna again hits a bomb yesterday. But I took his RBI prop here. Just small sample. He's 1 for 2 with a home run. I think they get to him today. So kind of any fashion, maybe even their team total. Strider, the one thing, looking better his last few starts, but just saw these Mets. So maybe he gives up a little bit of high total with him on the other side is Montas. But Nimmo, 9 for 19. He had a couple doubles and homers off him. Lindor is pretty good. 6 for 18. There's a few of these Mets that, they've seen him a bunch over the years that have got to him. So, yeah, maybe we get some more runs in this game. And after seeing the guy just 5 days later, 6 days, they could get to him. But I post that out. And just for the show, if you guys give us a like, give us a retweet. That's all we ask for the show. or the play. My Austin
There
Riley,
you
anything
go.
out there. That's all we ask for.
There you
We'll keep bringing the shows. Just hit the like button. Give us
Yeah.
a like, a retweet. Thanks.
Yeah, and help us get to 1,000. 1,000 is our next milestone for the subscribers for the channel. So
Yeah, hopefully I think we can pump it up here into baseball, but definitely college football. We should be there shortly.
yeah,
with,
we'll be
our
getting
college
that in
football.
1,000 either before or sometime during the
Right in the
fall
beginning.
football season.
Yeah, I think right in the beginning.
Yeah,
Get
we'll
it.
definitely get to that 1,000 mark, no question. All right, Yankees and Reds. We've got Carlos Rodon on the mound for the Yankees and Chase Burns getting the nod here for the Reds. We've got the Yankees minus 160, road favorites, 9.5 being the total here in this game. Obviously, when it comes to Rodon here for the, Yankees, he's pitched pretty well overall for the most part. No complaint. He had one bad start at Yankee Stadium against Boston. Really, other than that, though, he's been pretty solid, giving this team a chance to win. We'll have to see what we get here from Chase Burns. It'll be interesting to see. This is guy 22 years old. They say they like his stuff. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, the Yankees is never an easy assignment, getting this first opportunity. But a 1.77 ERA down in the minors for Chase Burns. This is a pass for me. Pat on the bat for both Connor and I. We both liked the Reds last night. They got it done against the Yankees, so good to see that. Tell you what, I lean Reds, but I don't know. Burns against this lineup. I'll have to wait and see. I don't want to just jump in and trust this kid without seeing what he's got to offer first. And meanwhile, Rodon's been very solid. I could see him pitching well here against the Reds, so it's a pass for me. I mean, I'm certainly not laying it with the Yankees, but I don't like the matchup as much for the Reds tonight as I did last night. So pass for me, no bet. C-Mac, Yankees, Reds.
Yeah, I can take the Yankees. The Burns, I just want to watch. I mean, I've seen this prospect, how good he is. He throws gas, almost triple digits, and they basically kind of rushed him up here quick. He hasn't been in the minors long. So I think it's Reds or nothing. And the total's a little high. It's hot. There could be more runs, but Yankees again. Where are the
10
bats?
straight unders. 10 straight under the total.
10 straight. 11 of 12. Yeah, and we hit on it yesterday. So, I mean, man, it's like these guys going to get hit. Rodon normally is a guy on the road in the past, could get hit around. The Reds swinging all right bats a little bit. I was on Steer in the weekend. He had a few hits. Yesterday came through Narbat. De La Cruz, again, heating up a little bit with a homer. So, the more I think about it, it's Reds. At this number, it just Burns. Like, I think he's dominant, or he could get hit hard here, debut against this Yankee lineup, but I think he could pitch well.
Yeah, it was a good betting night last night, and this next game was more evidence of that. And I didn't bet this, but Pirates and Brewers. I mentioned it, though, on the show. Even though I didn't bet it, I said this could be a sneaky Pirate spot last night in that game against, and they got it done. They get the 5-4 win last night against Milwaukee. So I didn't bet it, but hopefully someone did if they were listening to the show yesterday. Milwaukee minus 210, home favorites, 7.5 the total here in this game. We've got Heaney and Peralta on the mound. I don't know if I really thought the Pirates had at least a reasonable chance to win that game last night. Tonight, I'm not so sure about that. Heaney was absolutely pounded the last time he started against Detroit. 7 runs, 8 hits, only lasted 4 innings. Peralta's been pretty damn consistent. 3 runs or less in 5 straight starts, 3.21 ERA. Pretty good success in the past against the Pirates. So it's probably a nice bounce back spot kind of game here for Milwaukee, but I'm no bet again. No pass. I don't love the value here. Minus 210. Maybe the Brewers team total. Robert likes that in the chat. I could see it. Maybe they can get over that. We'll see. But pass for me. Pirates and Brewers.
This total's low. I don't trust Heaney. He's finally a little bit, and going through his road starts, he got hit so hard in that last one, right, at Detroit. They gave it 3 against the Cubs. He was good there in the middle, other than his opening start against the Reds, where he gave up 4. That's the guy I kind of want to fade. Like, I think he could be a little bit better, but I think Brewers get to him. They started scoring runs against the Twins, even though they lost yesterday. And I think they could get to Heaney a little bit in this game. So I know the number is big, but I think their team total is live. Yelich, Contreras, some of these guys have some really good numbers off Heaney. Pirates came through the lineup, last night Gonzalez is hitting well. Finally, Reynolds got out of it. McCutcheon, he has some good numbers off Peralta. We'll see. Pirates playing a little bit better baseball. Still tough watch at times.
Yeah. Yeah, no question about that.
Yeah,
all right. This next game is a perfect example of why I truly believe in my philosophy of line movement. I couldn't care less about it. I couldn't. I don't care if the line is staying put. I don't care if the money's coming in on the Minnesota Twins, and I felt that way now for about a week or two. I said, I'm fading this team. They're awful. They keep losing. I don't care what the betting markets do, whether the line stays the same or whether the money comes in on Minnesota. I couldn't care less. And this is another example of it. Yeah, this line has stayed pretty much flat. Even money minus 110, 8.5 being the total in this game. I'm still back to betting Seattle again. Minnesota can't get out of their own way. They're in an absolute tailspin right now. They got bombed 11-2 last night by the Seattle Mariners. They've now gone. It's just been a dreadful run. What are they? 1-9 in their last 10 games. They cannot get out of their own way. I thought the one concern I had going into the game last night was Seattle was going to regress offensively after the wind blowing out all week at Wrigley Field, and they didn't stop. They kept the bats kept swinging after what we saw in Chicago with 11 runs last night in that first game against Minnesota. And now they face a guy in Chris Paddock who's been rocked. He's been brutal in 2 straight starts. He's given up 13 runs in his last 9 innings. How about 18 hits? 18 hits in the last 9 innings allowed by Chris Paddock for this Twins team. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Luis Castillo, but the guy is what he is at this stage of his career. He's a 2-3 runs per game allowed in 6 innings kind of guy. But that's probably going to be good enough to win the way Seattle's hitting right now and with the way Paddock is struggling. So give me the Mariners again. Pretty straightforward. C-Mac, Mariners, Twins.
Yeah, I know, but for a team that's won 1 game, in their last 8 or whatever, the Twins, 8 or 9, there's a lot of money on them. This hasn't moved much to them. You know what I mean? It's just it's slightly moved.
Like the way the Twins have played lately. Why the fuck?
Well, there you go. I know, and there's a lot of love for him today. I think one thing is tricky with this number too is Pat's just been awful. He's back at home. At least last year he had a 3 ERA, and this year right around a 3. Both those games were on the road. Yep. Does he pitch better? But you're going to get an offense that's red fucking hot in the Mariners. So it's could he go out and give up a run or 2? Yeah. And we know the Mariners can kind of go flat. But right now they're red hot.
Right now they have a 10 ERA. That's another thing. Paddock doesn't give you length, even if he does pitch a little bit better. Bullpen.
Oh, that's true.
Come in and give it up.
He's a 5 or 6, so it's tough. Everything screams like this game could just be a dead under though, and low scoring. But I just can't do it. That's what I kind of want to, after everything that's gone on. Castillo pitches all right because Twins aren't hitting, and Paddock's a little bit better, but I don't trust him enough. So I'm off. Can't do it. Can't put my money.
I could see 4-2 Seattle, 5-2, 5-4.
Yeah, something
like that. They'll just do enough offensively, a little bit more than Minnesota. I don't think they're going to blow them out like last night, but again, it's pretty obvious that that's why the total could go either way for me. And I do respect the way Castillo's been throwing, but Seattle for me is just been fading the Twins. We'll keep going until something changes. All right, next up we've got, as we continue along here, Tampa Bay, Kansas City. Taj Bradley, Chris Bubich on the mound here. We've got the Royals minus 130, home favorites 8.5, the total in this game. A couple of things here. I think there's value with the Rays. It's a small, now again, it's always a little dicey with Bradley. He's capable, but he's also had some really rough, terrible outings as well. One thing I know about Bubich, though, Bubich regression train is coming, folks. He isn't going to keep rolling along the rest of the season with a 2 ERA, for fuck's sakes. That is just not happening. He's pitched well, give him credit, but he's going to start hitting the rough patch, and we're starting to see it now. 8 runs in his last 9.2 innings against the Yankees in Texas. Texas beat him up pretty good, and Texas doesn't always hit. So Bubich regression is coming, in my opinion. Yeah, I know Bradley's had some ups and downs here lately as well. But Tampa Bay as a team, they've just been outstanding. 7-3 in their last 10. They actually have a winning road record, 16-12, which is there's a lot of teams with some bad road records. Tampa Bay's actually got a good road record. So I like the value here. I know Bradley's a bit of a wild card here, but I think Bubic regression is coming. I like Tampa Bay here as a dog. C-Mac, what do you think?
I think Bradley pitches better. I mean, this is an offense you want, right? Like if you're going to face anyone to kind of get right, it's the Royals. I know it's hot there, and there could be runs, but I just don't trust it. And the Rays, can they get to Bubic? I mean, Yandy Diaz going through that 4-5 always back in the day. He's almost outpriced, and he's a leadoff hitter. So mostly on RBIs instead of 1.5 bases, but 4 for 5. Always the cash cow against lefties, Yandy Diaz. But yeah, I just don't know if there's a ton of runs in this game, and I don't know if Bubic gets hit that hard. But I think the value's a little bit with the Rays as well. I know the guy Bradley has not looked very good, but I think he could be decent here. Let the Royals explode the offense, but I don't know if that happens today. You talked about the road record too, and it's a dog. They've been pretty good. The Rays been pretty profitable as a road dog.
I like the value. I am worried about Bradley, but like I said, I think that there's no value with Kansas City.
Caminero, young kid, just ripping it.
You're laying a price with the inferior baseball team by a decent amount, in my opinion there. All right, next up, we've got Arizona and the Chicago White Sox. Arizona minus 115, road favorites, 8.5 the total. We didn't have many bad calls last night, but the White Sox was one of them. We did have the over, though, and Arizona obviously did their part to ensure that game went over the total. Just from a value standpoint, I thought Tampa Bay, just from a pure value standpoint, had some value. This is Arizona or nothing at this price. Come on. White Sox, even money? Like, do they expect Jordan Leisure to look like Mark Burley in his prime or what? Like, what's going on here with this kind of a price on the Chicago White Sox? Now, am I a big fan of Ryan Nelson? No. But my goodness, at this price, it's Diamondbacks or nothing. I'll probably bet Arizona small here just because of the value. But, yeah, I mean, you're not ever going to get me touching the White Sox at this price. C-Mac, what do you think here? Diamondbacks, White Sox.
This game's got a little bit of rain, but I think it's probably going to go. Nelson's been decent, and you got to take that. I mean, this is a White Sox team that the runs have been a little bit more. We talked about it yesterday, at least in the last 10 games or so. But reading this lineup sometimes, Tauchman, Benintendi is the guy who's, but Robert, of course, they want to deal him. Taylor, and I don't know. It's just tough for me. We'll see. It's not going to hurt him here or anything, but Corbin Carroll being out is not good for a team where they need offense and they don't have pitching. It'll hurt. I mean, they have enough bats here. I'm off this game. I had nothing. I couldn't take the over-under at all with these two pitchers.
Cubs and Cardinals. We have Jameson Taillon and Max McGreevy getting the spot start here for the Cardinals. Cubs minus 115, road favorites, 8.5 the total. Taillon was rolling until he ran up against the Brewers last time, and I couldn't even recognize him. He was just awful. I mean, he was just getting smacked around, crushed in that start, and knocked out early against the Brewers. Now, that was his first bad start in a very long time. Can he bounce back here? We'll have to wait and see. One thing is the Cardinals, though, and we saw this last night, C-Mac best bet winner with the Cubs and the Cardinals over last night, is that this Cardinals team is just hitting the ball quite well right now. There's no doubt. 8, 6, 6, 8. Look at this offense here all of a sudden. They've just been remarkable. 7-2-1 to the over. We expect the Cubs to bounce back, I think, a little bit offensively here tonight against McGreevy, Michael McGreevy. I guess Max McGreevy. I'm thinking of the golfer.
Yeah.
Max McGreevy. Sorry, I get my sports mixed up. Michael McGreevy, the starter here for the Cardinals. He's been okay, actually, but like I said, now in a spot start role, we'll see. It's going to be another really hot night there at Busch Stadium. So I'm coming back to the over again here with these two teams tonight, 8.5. I think there's value on St. Louis again because look at this home record, 25-15, and here they are even money at home. So Cardinals, but I like the over more. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, this is tough. I think it's a little bit of a flip. Cardinals just have been so good at home. We talk about these always good games. Cubs, Cardinals. Taillon, other than that last start, I think he could be a little bit better. But I think some of these Cardinals, and there's good numbers. Donovan, we talked about, right back to Burleson. I think here, I'll throw that out as RBI and his homer. He's just red hot. How can you not take him at some of these lefties that could get to him? And I think the Cubs could score some runs off McGreevy. Same thing. I mean, 9 to 8.5. I mean, I think it could be tonight, tomorrow, where there's the 4-3 game. But under 9, I mean, I think it, in the end could get over. Especially these, the Cardinals' pen's been a little bit better, but I don't trust that. Yeah. We all know what the Cubs' pen is kind of, flighty. We all bullpens are like that, but yeah.
Phillies and Astros, a good one here. Could this be a World Series preview? It's possible. We've got the Astros minus 150 home favorites, 7.5 the total in this game. We've got a pretty good matchup too. Ranger Suarez and Framber Valdez, two lefties. I mean, my first thought here is it could be a bit of a pitching duel here. Suarez has been really good, 1.09 ERA in 5 starts. Valdez, 2.18 ERA in 5 starts, 5-0 in the last 5 starts. I'm a little bit leery of fading the Astros and Valdez here at home. And again, they've won each of his last 5 starts. But to me, there's some value here with the Phils a little bit, plus 130. I mean, Suarez has been really good. I think I think that should be priced closer to Houston minus 120 or minus 130 or something. Minus 150, and you're going to put Philadelphia out there at this kind of a price with Suarez pitching like he is. And the fact that Phillies actually got 2 wins more on the year than the Astros, and the Phillies are playing some damn good ball coming into this series, 8-2. So is Houston. Houston's 7-3. It's a great game, great series, but I think there's a little value on the Phillies here at plus money. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, I think both these pitchers, could be good. I mean, the series too has been a dead under. I think this is a dead under this game. It's 7.5. I mean, one of these teams could on their own maybe get it. I'm worried about one of these pitchers could get hit, and I think they're good enough. I even thought first 5. There's another game we'll get to later where I like that a little bit more. And it's kind of maybe the Phillies team total. I just don't want to be taking their team totals, under, like you talked about. This moves to the Stros, which I kind of like, but now it's minus 150. I just couldn't take a side here because still this could be the 3-2 game where the Phillies win. So I'm off the side here. A lot of Astro love here with the Phillies. Day off. I know they, won Sunday Night Baseball, but, they had the day off here.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Like I say, I definitely understand the Astros they're good at home. 27-13. 13 good against lefties. I get that's definitely why you can make a case for Houston here, but I like
Phillies at this stack. By the way, one thing it's a little scary. I mean, they're stacked. Phillies will have everyone but Schwarber righties, and that's why I like Bohm, Sosa, these guys against lefties. Just Framber, if he's on, he should be able to shut him down. I only worry with his walks, because sometimes he could really stress out there. But other than that, I think it's good.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, next up, we've got the Dodgers and Rockies. Dodgers minus 280, road favorites, 12. Look at this total, 12. Not a shock at all, though, when you see the matchup here with Dreyer for the Dodgers, who's on the mound. Only going to go a couple innings, though. He'll give way to the bullpen and a slew of arms after that. Marquez, meanwhile, just hasn't been really that good, and he's really struggled here in this ballpark. It was better last time against Atlanta, but what are you going to get here? The Dodgers, 13, in the last game against Washington. It's been weird, though. They've had this pattern of a big monster output, and then they only score like 3 or 4 the next game. Now, this is Coors. I wouldn't begrudge anyone looking at over or Dodgers team total over, but my gosh, the team total's 7.5, and the full game total's 12. Hard to get there at those numbers. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, it's just a pass. And the Dodgers numbers off Marquez are crazy, and the props in this game. Yeah. Of course, they always are in Coors, but Freeman, everyone bats, all the Ohtani are really, really good off Marquez. Dodgers basically somewhat of a bullpen day here, but I don't know if that matters. There's runs. I think it could get, just do you want to bet over 12 in this game?
All right, Red Sox and Angels. We've got Garrett Crochet, Tyler Anderson on the mound here for this one. Red Sox minus 160, 65 in some spots as road favorites, and the total here at 8.5. No, sorry, 8, I should say, shaded to the under here in this one. Best bet for me, could I have asked for it to be any easier? My gosh, Red Sox Angels over. It was over in the third inning or whatever it was last night. Nice to see that. I'm back.
First inning.
First, yeah.
They went over, yeah, first.
Yeah, 5-3. I think 5-3. It was just about over after the first inning. But I like the Red Sox here. Bounce back spot after losing to the Angels. And Crochet, to me, I trust him a lot more than Tyler Anderson, the aging lefty. I think Crochet can go out there, pitch well. In fact, I'm going with 3 split bets here on Boston. I'm going to go with the first 5 run line, -0.5 at around -128, -1, -120 with the full game run line on Boston. And I like Boston team total over 4.5 as well. I think they can get to 5 runs here in this game. I'm not as sure what the Angels do offensively because Crochet, I think, is capable of going out there and pitching well here tonight for the Red Sox in this spot. But I think it's a great spot for Boston. Good matchup. I think they can hit Anderson. And I think Crochet bounces back after a rough outing from Bueller. Bueller's shot, man. He's done. I mean, it was just an awful performance from him last night for the Boston Red Sox. So I think it's a nice spot. Good matchup for Boston tonight. C-Mac, what do you think here? Red Sox, Angels.
Yeah, I look at this. I like the under. I want basically first 5, the Angels team total under 1.5, -135. Because I think Crochet, he pitches well. I've got to bank it on Anderson. The full game, I don't mind, but I don't really love these pens. We all know the Angels' time's been a little bit better lately, but still, they're shits. I mean, what are they? Second or third all year and basically have over a 5 ERA, the pen, right?
Yep. Not good.
Yeah, 5.4 ERA. So I think just Anderson, after 2 bad outings, both of those were on the road. I think he pitches a lot better here at home. I know the Red Sox lineup's been solid. Ref Snyder, that's a guy against the lefty. That's solid, of course, Story. But other than like full game, I think first 5 on it's 4. The 4.5 of it had a little bit. There just basically is none. So right around even money is what I got here. Under 4, first 5.
All right, first 5 under. I think if you like the under here tonight, that's the way to go. Take the bullpens out of it.
I think Crochet's good. That's just Anderson's the key, but I think he's going to be a lot better after kind of getting shelled in 2 bad road starts.
Yeah, we'll see if being back home gets him back on track. All right, next up, Washington, San Diego. Trevor Williams for the Nats and Burgert on the mound for the Padres. San Diego -165. Home favorites at Petco, 8.5 the total. In this game. Obviously, it was a great result last night for Washington, 10-6. They get the job done over the Padres. I was on the over in that game. Ryan Burgert, I'm not totally sold on Ryan Burgert just yet. He's been weird where he's had a couple of shaky starts, but he's also had a couple of good ones where he shut out the Dodgers last time he pitched, and he shut out Milwaukee as well in 5.1 innings. Which one are you going to get from him here in this one? Now, Trevor Williams is actually on a nice little run here, but let's calm down a little bit. Texas, Miami, Colorado. I mean, those are the 3 teams he's pitched against. This is going to be a lot tougher for Trevor Williams here against the Padres. And a lot of metrics show that he's been hit hard, and the ball is just landing in fielders' gloves, where he could have given up more runs than he's given up in the last few starts. So I think there's a much tougher matchup here for Trevor Williams. Both bullpens are not only shot, as in they've pitched a lot lately, but they haven't been great lately either, the bullpens. The Nats bullpen is a disaster, 8 ERA in the last 10 games. San Diego bullpen has a 6.1 ERA in the last 10 games. Back to the over for me here tonight, over 8.5.
I think so.
Not to mention, you look at the history of Washington, San Diego at Petco. Going back to 2 years ago, the scores at Petco with Nats versus Padres, 8-3, 7-6, 9-7, 8-5, and then 10-6 last night. They all flew over the total. So, yeah, back to the over here for me, Nats and Padres. C-Mac, what do you think?
Yeah, Trevor Williams, his last few starts been pretty good. He'll get 5 or 6, 2 earned, 3 straight. The Burger, I don't know what we get. This is a guy, the last 2 has been good. I think he could get hit a little bit. I mean, it's weird through his minor league. He was like 4-10 with a 5 ERA in single A high ball with a 5.8. And then last year he went 2-10 with a 4.7. Probably should have had a better record. And then basically is the big leagues from basically jumped because of injuries. He just pitched in AAA a little bit. So, and these last few starts he's gone a little bit. He really hasn't got hit, but I've noticed in those starts the walks. It's going to hurt him here at some point. He's had 4 walks in one, a couple. That last start against the Dodgers, though, was his best. I was shocked he pitched that well that day. 4 2/3, was out of there though. 71 pitches. He won't see definitely. He's twice through the lineup's it. But I think he could get hit a little bit earlier, so I don't mind it. I think in the end, or maybe one of the bullpens gives it up here, Cabana. If the Nats either or Padres score some runs off the Nats late.
All right, last game now out in the Bay Area. We've got the Marlins and
by the way,
San Francisco Giants.
Real quick, Nats. I would still take a first 5 value here. I mean, I just with the even with Williams on the mound, I think still there's value with them first 5, just the way the Padres have been playing.
Yeah. Well, last night I actually dabbled in the Nats. I had more on the over, but I dabbled in the Nats. I said that was a little too pricey last night for San Diego. I feel there's a better price for San Diego, but I'm not laying it with them still. No. Marlins and Giants, Quantrill and Verlander here. San Francisco -180, home favorites, 8 the total. Total jumped up quickly, 7.5 up to 8. And I'm seeing 10 miles an hour wind blowing out tonight here at Oracle. So keep that in mind that we could be in for some the ball flying a little bit here tonight in San Francisco. Well, flying for a night game in San Francisco. He's still got that to deal with, but still wind blowing out tonight in San Francisco. I didn't love what I saw out of Verlander in his return at all, quite honestly. 4 runs, 7 hits, 4.2 innings against Cleveland, who aren't exactly crushing the ball lately. Not encouraging opening returns for Verlander to the rotation. And I'm not a big fan of Quantrill, 4.43 ERA in his last 5 starts, still a bad 5.68 ERA for the season. So I did jump on this over as well here tonight with this one, 7.5 up to 8. Just with the wind blowing out, a little bit concerned about what I've seen from Quantrill. And, of course, Verlander, that first start back, I didn't love what I saw, quite honestly, and I'm worried about that going into this game. My only concern is the Giants haven't been always hitting consistently, and neither of the Marlins. But the Giants did come off a series against Boston where they scored 17 runs in 3 games. So that's a good sign that maybe the San Francisco bats are starting to wake up a little bit. So I still think over 7.5, over 8, it's worth a shot here. C-Mac, what do you think here? Marlins, Giants.
Yeah, it's like, can you get to Quantrill? I mean, how crafty he can be, but he isn't a guy on the road. The Giants, like you talked about, though, against righties, just haven't been good, been really bad the last month, bottom of the league, even at home. And Verlander, what do we get? After just kind of limp through that start, not even getting through 5. I think it could be similar. I just don't know what the Marlins do. I think I couldn't take the Marlins here, but I lean under. I lean the other way. But I haven't got involved here. Few numbers decent to look at here. Devers, there's a few other guys as well.
All right, Jack of the day for this big Tuesday slate. C-Mac, anything in the home run board that you like?
Yes, Burleson I talked about plus 400 there. And I already talked about Austin Riley. I think he could go yard. There's a few others, like mentioned, maybe Simeon finally hitting better in the 4-hole for the Rangers. Maybe the Jays, Bichette or Vladdy.
Yep.
I think Barger. Could be one. Barger. I think there's 2 out of those 4 righties could go yard today.
Yeah, there's a few I like. I like Seager for the Rangers, Hunter Goodman for Colorado, Tatis for the Padres. I think there's runs again in that Nats pot. Give me James Wood. Wood is good. He had a foul pole last night for the Nationals against the Padres. So I'd go right back to the well with him for sure. No question about that. As far as what else tonight, like I said, there's a few that have good numbers against Tyler Anderson, Rafaela, Duran. Story. Could Story be heating up? He had a homer last night against the Angels. So something to keep in mind there. So there's a couple that I'm interested in there for sure. And like I said, James Wood's probably my favorite for the whole night. James Wood, man, he had a little cold spell when Washington was on that losing streak, and man, he's starting to swing a red hot bat again for the Nationals. So yeah, Luke Raley's not a bad choice there. Jeff Matthews plus 475 for the Mariners there at this point in time. He might be definitely worth a look right now with what we've seen out of him lately. All right, good stuff. Best bets 2-0 sweep last night. We'll try to give you an encore here tonight. Encore performance. CMAC Tuesday best bet. What do you got?
Yeah, the Nats were cold. The other guy, Nate Lowe, him and Wood. I've been on all year in certain spots have cash. But best bet here, first 5 under 4 even money. Red Sox Angels under 4.
Yeah, I'll give you Springer for the Jays and James Wood for the Nats. Way of the Cage asking for
all right.
My 2 for that 4-leg home runs. Springer has 2 against Allen. That's what gravitated to me towards Springer. He has 2 homers against Logan Allen.
3 for 7, 2 bombs.
Yeah. So I think that's worth a shot. And again, hot conditions in Cleveland tonight. All right, my best bet. I'm keeping it simple, man. Fading Minnesota has just been a beautiful thing. The price is cheap, really cheap. I think Castillo's recent form's been better than Paddock. I think the Mariners get it done, and the Twins slump continues. So even money, minus 110. We'll take Seattle for best bet here for this Tuesday MLB card. Shout out to the chat, Way of the Cage, Robert Carlson, Jeff Matthews, J-Main 34, Nick Alvento, Justin McKelvey, Thomas Maggio, J-Main 34. Who else have we got here? Mojo, Mark A. Appreciate all you guys joining us here. I'm Joey Moss. Yep, Kyle Wright. Appreciate everybody here. The King's back. Who else? Brian Elfring. Again, a great crew. T. Moss, the great crew. Gundam Atticus, Gerald Jones, Timothy Hake, NY2BM, Newfie Codfather, Michael Lee, Daniel Abuna, Mohammed Jama, everyone in the chat. We appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. Hit the like button on the way out. And we're back tomorrow. Same time, same place. You know where to find us. For Connor Mack, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Tuesday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we're back tomorrow on Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific for another edition of the MLB Hitting the Books show. Until then, class dismissed.